In Chapter 36 of Yoga Vasistha, today we will discuss topics such as the denial of time, the unity of the meaningless and the meaningful, the Vedantic mystery of the story of Gava, the old bull, Dash pomegranate, and the untold sound. Welcome. As your teacher, I invite you to really lean into this explainer. We're tracing a profound spiritual map today, O Rama. This isn't just dry philosophy, It's literally a direct, practical path right to your own awakening. So, let's look at today's agenda. We're going to move step by step through the denial of time, the meaningful and the meaningless, the story of the old bull and the pomegranates, the Vedantic decoding of that story, our principles for daily life, and then a quick conclusion. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. The Denial of Time. We begin our spiritual journey into verses 15 through 137 with the truly radical truth, the absolute denial of time as a reality. To awaken, we have to completely, and I mean completely, uproot how we perceive our existence.
There's a beautiful verse that says, "Time is but a projection of the mind. Past, present, and future hold no ultimate reality in the realm of the absolute." Listen closely to that, because it brilliantly illustrates how the mind actually constructs this illusion of past and future just to keep us bound. You see, the mind survives on anxiety about tomorrow and regret about yesterday. But in the infinite, absolute reality, those chronological markers just do not exist.
Let's define the illusion of time. It's essentially the false perception that existence is bound by a strict chronological flow rather than an eternal, unchanging present moment. Letting go of this chronological illusion is absolutely crucial. It's your first step towards self-knowledge and real detachment. When you finally realize that the flow of time is merely a psychological construct, well, those heavy chains of worldly attachment just begin to snap. You become anchored in the eternal, unchanging present. And honestly, that is the only true reality there is.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, the unity of the meaningless and the meaningful. This builds into an even deeper paradox, because once time is dissolved, we really have to start questioning all of our worldly judgments. Think about the extreme contrast between the rumbling of a madman, pure absurdity, chaos, meaninglessness, and the highly structured, sacred chanting of Vedic mantras. In our everyday worldly ignorance, we separate these entirely, right? One is noise, the other is holy. But the grand spiritual truth here, O Rama, is that both of these sounds ultimately dissolve into the exact same source. And that source is consciousness. Consciousness is the singular, pure awareness that serves as the silent canvas for literally all worldly noise. It doesn't distinguish between the absurd and the sacred. Pure awareness is completely untouched by the dualities we assign to things. It doesn't judge the madman's babble as bad or the sacred chant as good. It just holds both of them, perfectly pristine and unaffected.
Which brings us to the untold sound. This is the primordial, unspoken vibration of pure reality that exists beneath all spoken words and concepts. This untold sound is the ultimate truth you've got to seek. It's the silent unity that unites both the meaningful and the meaningless. Actually, think of it as the vibration of existence before a single thought is even born, before a single judgment is made by the mind.
Now, Section 3, the absurdity of the Sarg-36, or old bull folktale. We find this in verse 138. At first glance, you're going to think this story sounds exactly like the babble of the madman we were just talking about.
Just look at the elements of this tale. We have a wandering old bull named Sarg-36, a cryptic search for exactly 10 pomegranates, a quest for an unspoken sound, and, well, sheer absurdity on the narrative surface. You're probably wondering, why would I, as your teacher, present you with such absolute nonsense? Well, Section 4, Vedantic decoding of the story. Do not let the surface narrative fool you. We're going to systematically break down these absurdities to reveal their profound spiritual truths. Because, O Rama, this is exactly how the wise navigate the world, by seeing straight through the illusion.
Let's decode these symbols. The old bull, Sarg-36, that's not a literal animal. That is you, O seeker, before awakening. It's the ignorant soul burdened by the heavy yoke of karma. And those 10 pomegranates, those represent the 10 senses and all their endless worldly desires. So the bull's desperate search is really just our own futile quest for permanent happiness in a temporary, illusory world. It's a perfect mirror.
So how does the soul become this wandering beast in the first place? It happens through the blanket of avidya. This is the thick layer of spiritual ignorance that covers our true consciousness, completely blinding the soul to its divine nature.
Covered by this blanket, the soul simply forgets its infinite radiant self and just wanders aimlessly through the suffering of the world.
To really grasp how this ignorance clings to us, let's use metaphor. Imagine the vast, pure, infinite ocean of consciousness. Now compare that to the pervasive, lingering scent of garlic. Just as the pungent, sharp smell of garlic can momentarily completely overpower the fresh scent of a massive ocean breeze, the illusion of the world masks infinite consciousness. The ocean is eternal, the garlic is tiny. But hey, if the garlic is right under your nose, you literally cannot smell the ocean. Avidya is that garlic. Oh, Rama.
As the verse tells us, the wise look past the shell of the story, finding the nectar of self-knowledge hidden within the absurd. This is a powerful reminder. True spiritual sight means finding that profound Vedantic reality hidden right inside the mundane. You have to peel back the layers of the pomegranate. You have to wash away that scent of garlic to find the nectar of self-knowledge that has literally been inside you all along.
Let's bring this down to earth. Section 5, Principles for Daily Life. Because, let's face it, knowledge without practical application is really just entertainment. How do we actually live this truth in the world?
Step 1. Do not despise the meaningless. You need to see the divine in everything, even the absurd. Recognizing the unity of all things brings profound peace. So, when you encounter chaos or noise in your daily life, don't just react with anger. Remember the madman and the mantras. Beneath the surface of all that chaos is the exact same silent canvas of consciousness.
Step 2. Recognize your true worth. Look beneath that blanket of avidya to find your true, infinite nature. You are not some beast of burden meant to endlessly chase sensory attachments and pomegranates. You are the vast ocean, just temporarily distracted by a passing scent. Reclaim your vastness.
Step 3. Let go of the illusion of time. Release the anxiety of the past and future by anchoring yourself in the eternal present. This severs the heavy chains of worldly attachment. Bring your focus entirely into the now. The past is a ghost. Actually, scratch that. It's not even a ghost. It's just a memory shadow. And the future is just a dream. Only the now is real, and the now is exactly where the divine resides.
So, O seeker, I have to ask, how will the illusion of time continue to bind you if you do not awaken to the eternal present today? Will you just keep chasing the 10 pomegranates, wandering blindly like Zardagava? Or will you stop, stand completely still, and listen to the untold sound? That choice is entirely in your hands, right here, right in this very moment.
We've covered so much ground. Let's move to Section 6, Conclusion of Canto 36, and summarize this immense wisdom.
Here are your main takeaways. Time is just a mental construct that needs to be transcended. The meaningless and the meaningful completely unite in consciousness. Absurdity often hides incredibly deep Vedantic truths. Your true worth is found way beyond the blanket of avidya, and ultimately, your salvation requires recognizing the illusion for what it is. This is the direct path from illusion to absolute awakening.
Keep this brilliant truth with you. When the mind rests in the untold sound, the world of illusion vanishes and only the supreme radiant self remains. That is the ultimate goal of all our spiritual inquiry and detachment. When you finally quiet down the noise of your desires and all those anxieties about time, you dissolve right into that pure, untold vibration. You realize you were never the bird and bull. You were always the supreme radiant self.
I'll leave you with this final question. If the world is but a story told by a madman, what is stopping you from writing your own awakening? Contemplate that provocative thought deeply. Thank you for joining me on this explainer of Yoga Vasistha. Until next time, stay focused, stay entirely present, and keep seeking the profound truth hiding right behind the illusion.